then, of course, we've learnt the identity of those involved. The wife of the BBC racing radio commentator John Hunt, that's Carol Hunt, who we can see on our screens now, as well as two of the couple's daughters, killed last night in an incident involving a crossbow.
Absolutely devastating news to bring you. Let's get the expert opinion now of retired Scotland Yard detective Mike Neville. Mike, we've now learnt of the identities of these three women that sound as though they were brutally murdered. We understand the 26-year-old suspect, Kyle Clifford, is still on the run.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the Hearts police will be working with Scotland Yard to trace him as much as they can. So no doubts there will be raiding properties where he's potentially known to be. There'll be all sorts of intelligence work to see if they can find him through if he's used any electronic devices, emails or whatever else. And then, of course, you've got things like ANPR, the automatic number plate reader, if he's got access to a vehicle. And the police can also use automated facial recognition in some circumstances as well to find him.
This will be, of course, a net that is cast very wide. After all, the initial phone call to the police took place more than 19 hours ago now. This suspect, this Kyle Clifford, could have travelled very far indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what they've been looking for now is where is his passport? Because there'll be a message sent to all air and seaports, and I imagine that was done a long time ago. With these sort of investigations, of course, what the police want to do is get hold of him as soon as possible before he knows they're after him, because they obviously want to get as much evidence as they can. The clothing he was wearing was probably his blood spattered and whatever because of the wickedness of these crimes. But now, of course, the police are concerned that he's still armed, and they have to tell the public that this man is armed and dangerous, and that's why they're seeking the public's help to spot him and ring 999.
Mike, I should say that we're seeing now pictures for the first time of the couple's two daughters who were murdered. It just beggars belief that something like this could happen.
Absolutely. I mean, Bushy is where the Metropolitan Police Sports Club is. It's a quiet, leafy place, Hertfordshire. No one would expect this here, and absolutely no one should be expecting to be murdered by whatever, with a crossbow or by whatever means. And it's just a really wicked and shocking crime. And let's hope that this Kyle Clifford is spotted as soon as possible and is brought to justice.
And I know you won't wish to speculate too much on a motive here. We don't know the details of what happened. We don't know why the prime suspect would have done this. But what does it sound like to you in terms of three women in the same family being targeted by, as we suspect, one lone suspect?
You don't know if people have been in a relationship. You don't know if people are fixated by someone, or there's some other motive. The police will, of course, be looking into that. And of course, these days, with all the electronic devices that people have, he will have a phone, he'll have a computer, all these things can be checked, what searches he's made. And so the police will be keen to establish a motive. But the first thing is to find him, get him into custody, and then these inquiries can be made. And the vast amount of the police efforts will be on finding him. And of course, there'll be all sorts of expert crime scene detectives at the scene who'll be looking into how what was the motive and how did the murder happen.
And of course, the police have already said that they're looking in Enfield, where the suspect is thought to be from. They have been looking in Hertfordshire as well. In your experience, Mike, when suspects are on the run, where do they tend to go? To familiar places, to unfamiliar places, as far from the scene, or indeed stay around the scene?
Well, this really does change with the people and who they're involved with. If he's got very close family, the best people to be with is to try and hide with your family, people you can trust. The moment you go with other people and rewards start being offered, then people are going to be tempted by those rewards. The people who love you, the family who's closest to you, they're most likely to be able to help you. But as you said, he's had 19 hours. That's a trip to... how fast did the Old Port's message go out? Did he have time to get to somewhere like Stansted, Heathrow or whatever. So in 19 hours in this modern world, you can go a long way.
Well, thank you very much indeed for your time. Mike Neville, retired Scotland Yard detective. Great to get your expertise